Okay, everybody, good morning. This is just a quick webinar to get people more used to using Causeway. So basically what I'm shamelessly plugging here right now is our webinars that we have coming up. And if you want to check this out, it's on the main page at www.appa.org, upcoming webinars. Just click on it, and I have a list of everything we've got scheduled so far this year. So for those who have muted themselves, I've unmuted you so you can talk, or if you have a question, you can also put it in the chat box. I'll answer it as we go along. But I wanted to get started, and this is being recorded so you can use it in the past. So what you do is you go to a new tab and you type in standards@appa.org, and it'll bring you to your page. What you're going to see on my side is I have admin rights. So on this group here, you will see just the groups that you're involved with. And Jeremy, should we go with the MyAppa or should we go with the MAPPA board share?
Let's start with MAPPA board share now.
Okay. For now, yeah. So what you have is you have a dashboard here. And as you can see, there's annual meeting notes in the documents and all of this. It gives you your work group details here. So if you want to reach out to anybody, they're all listed here. If you want to download a full member list of who has access to this, you can do that. If you want to email the work group, you can do it right from this button right here. So what I'm going to basically show everybody today is I'm going to go into the MyAppa now, which it's very blank. So what you can do is you can post messages, you can run ballots here. This is where you do documents, and it's very easy to do. It's pretty much self-explanatory. So you can go here, and I could go to my webinars, and I can say I want to update the webinar calendar. And we'll call it the MAPPA webinar calendar. And it's going to go into the MyAppa. You can put drafts up there, or we can say it's final. And what it's always going to do is ask you for a revision number. So that's a 0 for your first one. And then what you do is, if this box is clicked, it will send a message to everyone that's on the mailing list. If you just want to upload a document, you unclick this. So it will upload it, since I don't have anybody in, and it tells you what date you're posting it. You can lock the document so other people can't, put revisions over it. So then you click the upload button. And as you can see, if we go back to our dashboard, you will see I've uploaded the calendar here. Now, if you want to have a notice that goes out to everybody regarding meetings, you just add an event. You do it, we'll call this test meeting. The event date, we will pick for tomorrow. You put in your start time. And this little gizmo here just moves it to what you've got. And say you want to do 10:30. And if you want to have a quick meeting with someone, you can do it, say it right now. Then you can put in your end time. We're going to make this a long meeting. You can change your time zones here. And then it'll put an iCal reminder on everybody's calendar that 15 minutes prior to the start of the meeting, it'll do this. Then you can say that it's a one-time meeting. You can repeat it daily, weekly, monthly, and then you can set this up where it would be like with my Codes Council, we meet on the 2nd and 4th Thursday of every month. So then you can go in and change all this. You can do drafts, you can do published. Do that. You've got the location. It could be a GoToWebinar or a conference call, whatever you want. You can put the call information in here. You can allow people to RSVP, and you can put a deadline for people to attend this meeting. And then you can, if you want to share this with other groups, say you have, if the finance people and the conference people want to get together, you can then select the people you want to do it, and you can add, just by clicking on them, it will add them to the list. It will, if you want to remove all, then if you send a mailing list, you just do that and you click create, and then you will say send email. And I'm not going to do that, so what then you can go back to the calendar and you will see that I put a meeting, a test meeting here. Any questions so far?
No, that's very cool.
Okay, I'm unmuting people. So if you want to mute yourself, you can. So anyway, so this is how the calendar works. And now if you want to, you can create your own wiki pages. Or if there are tasks that you need a particular person to complete, you can set up tasks for them to do. I'm going to show you how voting works. And you can put a title. And you put in a description of what everyone. First question. And then if you need to put a little more explanation of why you're asking these questions, you can do that. You can allow people to put comments in. They can upload attachments to the vote. And then you have 3 selections here. And if your vote, you can do a, say you want your voting, you can just put in yes or no. And you can then, by checking these boxes, it requires you to do a comment. If you select yes, no, or abstain, when you're voting on things like we do when we do the American National Standards, I have options here. And when you say no to what they're doing, they have to tell me why they're not voting for what I want them to do. You have an open date, you have a closed date. You can do the general poll, which means all members who are on the list that I attach to, they can do this. Then you go down here, who is allowed to see the voting results? And you click with what you want here. And then it's basically just asking questions of how you want things to be seen and all this. And then do this, and you put down the notification. Then here you can say you want the notification when the new ballot goes out, and it says at creation. If you do this, you put your date in here. And so people who have already voted, and you don't want to bug them again, you click this, and it will only send the notice to people who have not voted. And you can do this all the way down for however many you want, and then you can, when the ballot closes, okay, when it closes, everyone gets a notification. So then you can do, and you can do attachments again. And all you do is add a file, display name, and here again, you just go to your and save. And then you can preview what you've got here. So right now it's telling me I have 2 reminders that are blank. So what it will not let me do is save at this time. You have to answer all of your questions. So I can unclick this and unclick this, preview again, and now it will let me save the ballot. So that's what your balloting looks like. And if someone is going to be away, they can't vote on this or whatever, you can do a proxy vote, which means the administrator can go back in behind and vote for someone. And when you do your results, it will tell you. It'll tell you who voted, who didn't, and all of that, and it will say right by it that there's a proxy that will say, like, Jeremy was going to be out of country and couldn't vote. He could call me, I would go in and do it, and beside his name would say that there was a proxy. So it tells you how to do all of that. Any questions?
That's a fabulous feature. It's really nice.
So is there anything else you would like me to, and like I said, right now, this is what the information I was given. So you always see me there as staff because I'm an administrator. So if someone tries to send a message, somehow they get a hold of the email address to the work group. If they're not on this list, Jeremy, you've seen this, they'll come in and it has to be moderated. And the rule of thumb that we have is you always have a backup. If I come in and I see one of these, I will always check it because George has privileges to approve these to go out, and so does Jeremy. So if maybe they're busy and I get into the office, I see this, I can read what the contents of it is, and then I can approve it to go out.
You are so on top of it. You beat me to the punch almost every single time, and I'm usually on my email. So you are really on top.
Yeah. So I'm an email person. I'll get right back to people on email. Phone calls, I'm a little slower. But so this doesn't linger. We have all of this, and then you have the administrators can set up and go in, and we can set up where you have mailing lists. And right now I have mailing lists for these. So, if you want to just send something to like MAPPA, we put a MAPPA member list in there. And it would go to just those members. So this is pretty much what it looks like on the work group side. Can I answer any questions for anyone?
So if we wanted to set up a group of state leaders, so that there's a group for that of MAPPA state leaders, so people who aren't on the board but are very active in their state or who are heads of the other state chapters, we could set up a group for that specifically if they were interested.
Absolutely. And what I would do is then set up a group underneath MAPPA. Let me go to... And this is something that as the administrator, I have to do this. So I would say add a work group. And then we would call this MI State
MAPPA state leaders here. MAPPA state leaders instead of my MAPPA state leaders is what we do.
Okay.
I'm sorry, MAPPA state leaders.
Yeah. And we would just call this this is a group of state leaders. And here again, you can have it so anyone can join, you can restrict it, or you can hide it. And most of the time, we do basically say it's restricted. And the parent company, you go down here, and what I would do is say the parent is MAPPA. And then you would have the default, all of this. And I would basically put all this information in, and you get your own email address. The chair gets an email address, and then the admins get an email address. And here is where you can say work group members that can send to this. And this is how you keep spam out.
So when I see, because I see this on our website some, but I didn't know where this routed to. When I see that there is a email address for, say, the membership chair, that is this, and then whoever's in that membership chair position on our board Causeway site, that's who will get that email. It's a way of keeping the email consistent.
Right. Jeremy, I'm going to use you as a for instance. Now everyone is seeing the backside of this that I see. So Jeremy, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to update you.
Okay.
So what I do is, and you can go in and edit your own username. I put in the information so I can set this up for you. But see all these little individual things out here? Yeah. I set all those up for each one, and when they're checked, it says that that person is the chair. So that alias email becomes their alias email.
Ah, that makes sense.
And see, right now, Jeremy, you're active in MAPPA, but you're also a work group administrator, which makes you, so you can go change anything you need to change on the dashboard or approve anything. So this is pretty much what it looks like. Again, any questions for anybody? From anybody? And once you, yeah, and everyone will get their own username and password, and it's basically, it'll come to your email saying that you have access. Then you can come in, add your information to it, and if you want to change your password, you can. I cannot see your password, so if for some reason you forget it, you just need to contact Jeremy or myself, and then we can resend the information to you, and it will give you your username and password. Any questions?
I got one last question. I apologize. Anybody using the wiki? Any group using the wiki site really well? And if so, you know what kind of things they're putting on it? Has anybody really fleshed out a wiki site yet? Like basically, wiki is just used for like informational purposes, right? Like information you want to document and kind of keep on there so that ongoing topics can be reviewed, correct?
Yeah, one of the things that would be really good for us to put up there is this recording. Okay. Or a link to this recording. Fabulous. That's a good thing for a wiki. And as people have attended here, I've also set this up where you have a handout. So you can click on your handout and download this information.
Oh, that's a great idea. Thank you.
So like I said, it's very easy to do and use. And MAPPA has been using it now, I want to say almost 3 years, at least 2.5, and they love it.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with this intuitiveness. It's not it kind of tells you what you're about to do really well, which is a sign of a well thought out software.
Yeah, and if you do something, or your information, it gives you, this needs to be done. So, I mean, and I've been here soon to be 4 years. I've been using it for 4 years, so I have yet to see a real glitch with it.
I guess here's my one question is, do you know what this kind of software is called? I was just calling it like a document email group platform, but am I calling it the right thing, or is there a business term for, you know, like computerized maintenance management system? That's a term we use for our work order system. Is there a business term?
It's pretty much, yeah, it's a document sharing.
Document sharing system. Okay.
Yep.
So document sharing with kind of with a focus of like how a board or things like that would operate, how work groups and boards operate.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, or if something's really happening, you know, where it has MAPPA news, you know, somebody won a basketball tournament or a football game or something like that, you can put MAPPA news and it'll go out to all the members.
Oh, fabulous.
Or someone got a promotion, you can put it in your MAPPA news.
Fabulous.
Oh, and we have a question. Tricia just asked, oh, Tricia, I apologize, I should have unmuted you. Yeah, you can use this as a listserv, and that's what the mailing list is for. So that's basically what this does. It becomes a listserv. And there again, Jeremy would send me a list of the email addresses, and I would bounce them against people who are users versus people who are just getting messages. So then I dedupe that. So you can make sure that no one gets duplicate emails. So do we have any other questions? Jeremy, is there anything else I can show anyone?
That really kind of answers what I was interested in. I think that's a very good overview. It actually helps show me some features that we haven't used a whole lot yet, which is really good because you know, those are features we might want to adopt. And I think that if I were new to this platform, wanted to see its functionality, you did a really great job showing me its functionality.
Yeah, and here again, you've got access to this. You can view the full membership of who is on the listing, and you can export it. So that's another feature. Okay, well, if no one has any other questions, I am heading out to APPA-U tomorrow. I'll be in San Diego, but if anyone has any questions, feel free to just send me an email. I will be checking my emails.
Well, thank you so much, Billy. Really appreciate that you set this up for us, and I'm really glad that now we have this as a training that we can share, and I'm really grateful for all that.
Great. Well, I'll send you the link, and I'll work with you on uploading it so you can I'll show you how to, we'll work on putting it in the wiki.
Perfect. That sounds great.
All right. I hope everyone has a great weekend, and like I said, any questions, just give me a call.
Thanks again.
Thank you. Bye-bye now.